Good morning, students. Today I am going to teach you the remaining part of chapter number 3 of your English reader book, and the name of the chapter is Taro's Reward. Students, I have written the word meaning. Rushing means flowing. Kneeling means sitting on knees. Pitcher means earthen pot. Shiver means tremble. And procession means a large crowd of people. Students, in previous video I had taught that Taro was a very hard-working boy. He chopped wood. He used to chop wood all day long. He was a very thoughtful child. So he wanted to give his old parents everything which they needed. So one day Taro's father felt cold and he wished to drink a cup of sake. When Taro heard his father's desire, he became very sad. He was very sad because the sake was very expensive. So he determined to work harder and harder. He went to the forest and he started chopping the woods, cutting the woods, thinking that he would earn extra money, and by that money he would purchase the sake for his father. Okay, so now see the next portion. Open your book at page number 30. See the fifth paragraph. Students, I have taught you fourth paragraph, first to fourth paragraph. Now see the fifth paragraph. Then suddenly Taro stopped chopping. When Taro was chopping the wood, suddenly he stopped chopping. What was that sound he heard? At that time when he stopped, he heard a sound and he started thinking that what was the sound which he heard? Could it possibly be rushing water? And he thought if it was the sound of flowing water, the sound which he heard, he thought if it was possibly the sound of flowing water. Taro could not remember ever seeing or hearing a rushing stream in that part of the forest. Students, Taro did not recall that he had seen or he had heard a flowing stream, flowing water in that part of the forest, from which direction he was hearing the sound of flowing water. He did not recall. He was thirsty. The eggs dropped out of his hands and he ran in the direction of the sound. He was very thirsty because of work, because of his hard work. That's why the eggs, it fell down. It dropped out of his hands and he ran towards the sound. He ran in the direction of the sound. He ran in the direction from where the sound was coming. Taro saw a beautiful little waterfall hidden behind a rock. When Taro ran towards the direction of the sound, then he saw that there was a very beautiful and little waterfall and it was hidden behind a rock. Kneeling at a place where the water flowed quietly, he cupped a little in his hands and put it to his lips. Taro sat on his knees at a place where the water was flowing silently. When Taro reached there, he saw that there was a very beautiful and little waterfall which was hidden behind a rock, and at that place he sat on his knees and he saw that the water was flowing very quietly, very silently. And after that, he took some water in his hands and he put it to his lips. Means he took the water in his hands and after that he drank that water. Was it water or was it sake? And when Taro drank water, then he questioned himself, was it water or was it sake? He tasted it again and always it was the delicious sake instead of cool water. He drank that water. He again tasted that water, but whenever he was tasting, he always found that it was the delicious sake instead of cold water. He had gone there to drink water. There was a waterfall, but when he tasted the water, it was the delicious sake instead of cold water. He could not believe. That's why he again and again tasted that water. And at last he found that it was not a cold water, but it was the delicious sake. Okay. Now see the seventh paragraph. Taro quickly filled the pitcher he had with him and hurried home. Taro immediately filled his pot which was made of mud. He filled his earthen pot with that sake and immediately he reached his home. The old man was delighted with sake, and when he offered the sake to his father became very happy. After only one swallow of the liquid, he stopped shivering and did a little dance in the middle of the floor. And when his father drank only one swallow of the liquid, at that time he stopped trembling, he stopped shivering, he stopped trembling, and after that he danced in the middle of the floor also. He became very happy after getting the sake. He drank a swallow and after that he felt warm. He stopped trembling and he started dancing in the middle of the floor. That afternoon, a neighbor stopped by a visit. And on the same day, that afternoon, a neighbor came for visit. Taro's father politely offered her a cup of the sake. And Taro's father, he offered her a cup of sake to that lady. The lady drank it greedily and thanked the old man. That lady, she also drank sake and after that she thanked that old man. She thanked the Taro's father. She thanked Taro's father. Then Taro told her the story of the magic waterfall. And after that, Taro, he explained the story of that waterfall, that magical waterfall. Thanking them for the delicious drink, she left in a hurry. The lady thanked them for that tasty sake, and after that, immediately she left their house. By nightfall, she had spread the story throughout the whole village, and by the night, she had spread this story. She had spread the story of the sake. She had spread the story of the magical waterfall throughout the whole village. Okay, students, now see the ninth paragraph. That evening, there was a long procession of visitors to the woodcutter's house. And when the people came to know about when the people came to know about the story of the magical waterfall, which was giving sake instead of water, so that evening a large crowd of people were coming towards the woodcutter's house. Each man heard the story of the waterfall and took a sip of the sake. Each and everyone who was present there, they heard the story of the waterfall and they took a sip of the sake. They took a swallow of the sake. In less than an hour, the pitcher was empty. And within an hour, in less than an hour, the earthen pot was empty. It was totally empty, and people drank a sip of sake. Okay, so students, that's all for today. Write the word meaning in your notebook. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.